the best I could do is probably pop rock, really catchy stuff, little touch of country or perhaps alt country, but that's probably as good as we could describe it.
So that's that's how you describe your sound, a little bit of alt country. Was that always the plan? Was that it from the get-go, or did it kind of like actually really musically evolve?
I don't think, and jump in, but I don't think that we really had a game plan on how we wanted it to sound. And the songs that are on this record vary from probably something I wrote 10 years ago to a number of songs that were written last year, or perhaps the year before, but it's just this collection of songs that we recognize all kind of really fit together, and I feel like we have the right sequencing in terms of this song goes first, second, third, and like Mehdi said, it kind of tells a story of someone who gets out of a relationship and is kind of free again to do what they want to do and meet somebody else, and everything goes well, and they have a child with this person, and then things fall apart, and you meet up with an old friend, and you start getting older, and you realize that it doesn't really matter how much clout you have in the business world or how much money you have. It just kind of sucks sometimes to be the celebrity, the king, if you will. So we pieced things together as it went, but didn't necessarily have a direction from the start when we started kind of getting the Struggs together.
Yeah, I think the songs really shaped together organically. I mean, we had 6 people in a room kind of trying to figure out a skeleton of an acoustic song, or even if it was a fully fleshed demo that was sent out, but kind of where everyone fit. And everyone came from different musical backgrounds. So the pieces that everyone threw together, it was really interesting to see how it fell together, but at the same time, I don't think it was like an intentional, we're going to sound like this kind of thing. It just kind of organically turned out that way.
Is that how the songwriting process kind of comes together? For every song, it's just kind of like, okay, life experience, very organic, or is it, kind of a battle plan, or is it just kind of an amalgam of everything?
I mean, over the years for our other band and now for the Struggs, anything that I write typically comes in as an acoustic, kind of singer-songwriter type feel. Straub, the bass player, has a great knack for coming up with some really catchy driving bass lines. And then Mehdi does his thing on the drums. He's, I'm not a drummer, so I can't tell Mehdi like what I think would be a good thing. It's kind of like he comes up with what he's feeling based on what Straub and I are playing. And now with GF as lead guitar and DKY on keys, we kind of flesh it out. Now, when GF comes with a song, he typically has it demoed out with a full band feel already. And the 2 that we have on the record were hard to argue with what he had come up with. It sounded really good right off the bat. It was more so a matter of finding out with our setup, with keyboards, drums, bass, lead guitar, and rhythm guitar, how does that come together? And I'm a nutball about vocals and harmonies. So Anna and I have worked on the vocals a year on the record to try to sync up as well as we can on vocals. So it's kind of for the most part, I would say it's pieced together after the original song's written, with the exception of what GF wrote on a couple songs. And I'll say that Straub also wrote a song, As I Grow Old, which literally sounds like it could be potentially a 1960s or 70s Dylan folk song. If you listen to the original track, and what you hear on our album is totally different. Yeah. So it's morphed into kind of a full band, kind of anthemic rock song almost. So.
And I think that's the interesting thing about any time a song has been brought to our practice space, that ego has never been an issue ever. Yeah. This has been for the 8 or 9 years that we've been together, and we've had guitar players come and go, but when GF came and DKY came and Anna, we can all vocalize what we would like to try on a song that's been written by somebody else, and we can say, you know, hey, maybe can we try it in this style or that, or what if we switched these words, you know, the lyrics around a little bit. And it's never been an issue. It's always been like, sure, let's try it and see how it sounds. Or so that process, I think, is so refreshing at this point in our lives, where this has been a nice outlet or a hobby that we can go to and feel part of something bigger than ourselves. And I think that's the neat thing about doing this album.
Yeah, it didn't feel like hard work at all. And you're right, everyone was really collaborative. I mean, like, even if, for example, I was bringing a guitar part to the table, I would always ask you guys, like, does this work? Does this mesh? Is this too aggressive? Is this not aggressive enough? That was usually not the case. But yeah, you're right, it wasn't hard work.